All right, everybody. We're still on the Legend of Keret, right? And I was thinking just now, and it's like we can compare um, the Canaanite views of leadership and power compared to Moses' views of leadership and power. What are the differences, right? So I think if we start with Moses, um, like it is my claim that Moses built the golden calf, and he was testing his people. And those who passed the test lived. Those who failed the test died. Right? And you might not agree with that interpretation, but regardless, uh, I think anybody who knows anything about warfare knows that shit like this doesn't happen spontaneously. Like Moses had to have had his soldiers who had weapons ready. Like he had his soldiers ready, and he went and he killed the Jews that he didn't like, right? And so what happens after the golden calf? Well, he's now purged his first round of Jews. And he's now fully in charge. There's all the top threats are now dead. So now he's now in charge of the Jews. And what does he do? There's the scene where Moses is judging, right? Oh, judging, 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 right? And his father-in-law comes along. And I think his father-in-law was maybe one of his mentors. I don't know. Maybe Moses was a masterless master too. But I think that the father-in-law, taught Moses a lot of this esoteric stuff. And anyway, so the father-in-law comes along and he's like, "Hey Moses, you're like all day long dealing with all this stuff. You can't do that, right?" Now, I believe that this is all an act, right? Moses has his legal beliefs. Like he's not just going to accidentally, "Oh, this is how we're going to do it." No, he knew what he was doing. But now that he's in charge, all the people and the Jews know, then they're all going to be looking towards him, right? So they're all looking at him right now. And what do we know about Moses? We know Moses is a Renaissance man. Um, like Moses would rather be out studying marine biology than dealing with the problems of a bunch of petty, effeminate Egyptian Jews. And and so what did he end up doing? He ended up creating this jury system. Like there were no judges in the Jewish world, in the Jewish legal world. And we see this in a later text, I think, Ruth. But if there's a trial, then you go find 10 random Jews and you you do the trial. Um, and so the people were in charge of their own justice, right? So that the rabbis like could go do whatever they wanted, right? Um, and I mean, this is a severe contrast between Keret, who's all about power and authority. Like he glories in this authority of controlling a bunch of people with arrested development. Like how impressive is that? Not right. So I mean, to Moses, um, it wasn't about vainglory. You know, he didn't care what these Jews thought of him. Um, and so that's why he put on an act, right? He put on this act with his father-in-law, right? And because he didn't want to do all that judging, right? Because they're all looking towards him, and they're all looking towards him, and he's like, "Hey, deal with your own shit, fucking a." And he's releasing them. He's a shepherd who's trying to change their behavior, right? They have bad behavior because they were living in Egypt, and the people of Egypt had bad behavior. Um, and it's like they were killing their kids in Egypt, and yet once they got out into the desert where they survived just fine, but they had to go through a lot of hardships, right? And they didn't want to go through these hardships. Like, I claim that Moses didn't get lost. He was using the desert to change a bunch of petty, effeminate Egyptian Jews into strong, independent craftsman society. Um, and so it was all about, I mean, he did become in charge, right? But he was trying to, he was trying to, like, his glory is that he tried to uh, take a sheep and turn him into a shepherd. Um, because I think definitely Moses believed in freedom. I think that's one of the qualities of Moses as God.